There's not one guy, one person in the history of this program that's bigger than the program.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
Oklahoma football news. Let's get right into it. Brent Venables has a new contract that literally dropped like the day after our pod, which, you know, that's the game, right? You're meeting once a week. The Brent Venables contract is an extension. Anyone have the details off the top of your head?
So it's more or less, it's more like it brings him in line with SEC coaches. I think he's still like 7th in the SEC versus 9th before. It's really just a 2-year extension. The major problem is the way that it was presented up front, which was this is a 6-year extension. When really what it is it takes his remaining 4 years, turns it into 6, right? And he gets a raise every single season. I think it's something like 405 every year it goes up. And frankly, I don't have any trouble with that at all. You are trying to build to something, you're committing to it, and you're marking to market one of the most influential head coaches in the way college football goes for the next entire length of the contract. Contract now 6 years. Those 6 years and how it goes for Oklahoma is going to have major ripple effects all throughout college football. And personally, I think that we're all on board with it, but that's a big deal. And it shows a level of commitment that I think we're happy to see, because the record improvement is one thing, but we're also seeing it off the field. We're seeing what's being done behind the scenes with recruiting, everything with the infrastructure of the program that we thought weightlifting may have been gone before or deteriorated before. It's been built back up, and I trust the trajectory we're on. So adding 2 years onto his contract is something that I think you almost have to do, because you got to keep him bright, make sure no one else comes and gets your guy.
I think it's a perfect, I don't know if compromise is the right word, but perfect deal for this point in time where we're at. It shows commitment to Brent, but it also doesn't burn all of our money away. It's not a huge monetary extension. He's still 7th, like he's still average in the SEC. So I'm really happy with it. If it works out, amazing. If it doesn't, it's not a crazy amount of money to lose out on.
Yeah, I saw a lot of posts that were like, why would you give someone this who has gone, what's the record, 16-10, somewhere around there? I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think that's just doesn't tell like the full story. Like they're using a specific statistic to say, like, try to tell their own story. And, you know, if you see the difference between us going, 6-6 or 6-7, I guess technically, and then moving into this past year, which we did significantly better, you see that upward trajectory. The recruiting has been fantastic. There's more to being a head coach than just the win-loss percentage, especially your first 2 years. So it's about like building this foundation and what you do off the field. So, and then like Pat said, he's 7th in the SEC. I mean, like, we have to keep up with the top teams in the SEC, or else he's going to get snatched by somebody else. I don't think he would leave at this point, but I think this is a good move. I think it was the expected move. I don't understand why people are really shocked by it. I think it was what needed to happen.
They're just going to cite the wins losses. Yeah, Mark.
Yeah.
Real fast, to speak to your point about not telling the whole picture behind it by giving that 16-10 record, the 24/7 Sports blue chip ratio for 2024 became a big conversation today. And Oklahoma clocks in at 73%. Now, what this means is on your roster, how many of your guys are 4 or 5 stars? And for Oklahoma this season, going in right now for 2024, 73%. Looking backwards, during the Brent Venables era, you're looking at last season was 70%. Year before that was 71%. Wow. You go back previously, 2021 forward or backwards, 66, 63, 60, 53, 45, 36, 38. So you're looking at an improvement. And Lincoln Riley started that improvement, right? Bob could get a lot out of 3 stars back in the day, and we all loved him for it. Samaje Perine was a 3-star running back. So we loved him for it, but you're seeing consistent improvement through that. And I think that's a reflection of what Brent Venables is bringing to the table. Go ahead, Mason.
Well, and to your point, Mark, recruiting in that era, like recruiting from the Lincoln Riley period to now the Brent Venables period, has become so much more nationalized. Like, you're not recruiting just your area anymore. Do you need to own your area? Yeah, you do. But I mean, we're seeing guys that we're about to talk about pulling them in from California, and we're doing that with regularity. You know, from in the SEC, that's what you're going to do. You're going to pull guys in nationally as well. So I feel like that blue chip is just going to continue to rise. That percentage will continue to rise. And what you're paying for is stability in Brent Venables. You're paying for Oklahoma has been a model of consistency over the last 60, 70 years of college football. As long as there's been college football, Oklahoma has been a steady program. And that's what you're paying Brent Venables for right now. Now, I feel as though him being 7th is kind of a prove it deal. Like, I think Brent's agent probably doesn't like that he's 7th. I guarantee he doesn't. But to Joe C and company, go ahead and prove it. Prove that you're the guy to do this. I believe in you. We're showing you we have a vote of confidence that you're going to do that by giving you this extension. You're locked up for 6 years. So we all know how college football works, and so does Brent's agent. If you win games and you win conference championships and you win national titles, you get more money and you get more years. That's the way it works. And up to this point, he hasn't done it. But what he has done, to Mark's point and Ryan's point, he's improved. He's improved since he's got here. So that's what you're paying for, is the consistency that Brent offers.
And 3, 2, 1.
There's not one guy, one person in the history of this program that's bigger than the program.
What's better than this? Guys being